Welcome back, Baker Nation. This is Hannah Albright reporting for the Baker Athletics. The number 17 Baker Wildcats held Peru State 35-0 in a complete shutout last weekend. This weekend we are playing MNU, which is the first conference game for the Wildcats, and the record is 4-2 so far in the season. Today we'll be talking to sophomore defensive back Ivan Hollins as he previews the upcoming game this weekend. All right, Ivan, so you're from Lawrence. Now, how did you decide on Baker, it being 20 minutes away?
Considering I went to Lawrence High and we have high school camps when Baker came down, and defensive coordinator Coach Thorne always showed his face, and so I've known Coach Thorne growing up, and so he was a key factor in choosing Baker.
So how is it playing football so close to your hometown?
Considering family and friends get to come, or I need to grab something quick to go home, or I just think it's convenient for the family to come down, so I think that was a big factor also in choosing Baker.
For sure. So last week we played Peru State and we complete shutout, and you held their offense to 125 yards total. Now, what has been your key to success so far this season?
Coach Thorne, lots of film hours. He puts us in the right position to succeed. Also the D-line and the linebackers. That's a lot of work for them, and very seldomly doesn't get to the third level, so a lot of them get the dirty work done for us quickly.
For sure. Now this weekend we play MNU. It's the first game in conference. Now they are ranked number 17 nationally in total pass offense. Now what's the key to stopping their offense this weekend?
Once again, Coach Thorne, Coach Hayden, Coach Tuck, the defensive coaches, they'll break down the film and put us in the best position. But mainly just staying to our assignment, trusting others, making sure they got our back and we have their back. So just really doing your assignment and staying true to it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Ivan, and we look forward to watching you this weekend. This weekend, the number 17 Baker Wildcats will take on MNU. Here's Tom Hedrick with Coach Grossner.
The Baker Wildcats on the road at a 2 o'clock ball game on Saturday against an arch rival, Mid-America Nazarene. Now, last year you knocked them off, looking tremendous, 48-14 in the game. What do you got to do to beat them on Saturday?
Well, I reminded our team in 16 we had a very good football team, and we were down at halftime over there. And then last year, 17, we were down until the lightning bolt hit, and the delay in the game, and then that kind of woke us up, and we came out and performed well after that. So from this standpoint, ODAC's a tough place to play.
Yes.
It's just a neutral stadium. We've just got to get it going from the get-go.
No doubt. Blackston, a fine quarterback. Moya, a good running back. They've got two outstanding players, and I like their 4 or 5 wideouts.
Yeah, I was just observing them on tape a little while ago, and it's just what you said. Offensively, he's a converted wide receiver, the Blackston kid. He started at wideout against us last year and caught a couple balls, but he throws very accurate, and he's a big kid, and he can pull it down and run it because he's used to ball in hand playing wide receiver. So to me, he's a difficult threat as a dual threat. And then this number 9, their little tailback, is special. He's as good as the kid they just had for 4 years, and reminds me of him. We've got a young man from Bakersfield here, and he knows of him. I think number 9's brother played at Iowa State, so that's kind of the connection with Coach Sturdy.
9th in the country in rushing, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean they just do things well. They just haven't been consistent. They've got, like you said, a couple wideouts that'll go up and get the football. Quarterback's accurate, tailback that can run the ball, and I think their O-line plays well together. Number 71, their left tackle, is athletic, 6'6", about 270, and very athletic.
Let's take a look at your offense. I understand the guy goes this week is Marco. What made him so effective in the second half, the last ball game against Peru?
I think he got to watch and observe what was going wrong at times. And then he's the type of kid that can spark you. He's got that personality. Kids like him. He's a good locker room guy. And he knew he had a job to do. He knew he needed to come in and play well, make some plays from the quarterback position, and lead us to a win, and he did it.
The thing he does that I like, he'll roll out. When he does that, he gives you about 2 or 3 more seconds to throw the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those guys, you look at him, you'd say, okay, he's a guy that wants to pull it down and run it, but he doesn't. when he starts moving in the pocket, he's still looking for somebody down the field. Now, sometimes you have no idea where it's going, but he is looking to make a play down the field instead of pulling it down and running it.
You made an adjustment in the line. Biggest adjustment, you took your right tackle, Harvey moved him to left tackle. I thought that was huge.
It was. It allowed Mike Hughes, who's a natural guard, to go back down and play left guard. If you look at us on the left side, we're 700 pounds plus.
Right.
Normally you would flip that to the right side, you know, and run the ball behind it, but we have it on our left side because Jared Harvey's our best pass pro guy.
Sure.
So we're rather large there. Then we got our miniature center who's doing a heck of a job, Nico. And then we were able to, this week, we're going to move our right guard out to right tackle and then insert Danny Ofa back in at 6'1", 360. So we've made about 4 or 5 major moves and used about 6 or 7 players.
Well, you and I both know, you win football games in the offensive and defensive line. If you're not getting the blocking up there, that running back can't get the first 3 yards.
Yeah, and last week JD carried the ball 32 times for about 146, so we were doing something. You know, it's a work in progress. It's a young football team. They are getting better, and like you said, up front's the key to the season, so we're going to make moves until we find the right 5 that can play together.
What about Cooper Lee? Great kicker, went 6 for his first 7. Missed 4, actually had 2 blocked and missed a couple. Isn't it right now with him mental?
Yeah, and coaching, you know, we blew it. We had a scheme that did not protect the outside, and they had this young man that came off the edge for Peru State. I saw him do it on tape, and he blocked a couple and was close on another couple, and I really worried about it. And then lo and behold, Indy Allen got hurt, our wing, and we had an insert a freshman in there, and here it came. I had never been a part of 2 blocked field goals and an extra point. And so we made some adjustments at halftime and got it corrected, and we've worked on it hard this week. He's a good kicker, Cooper, but anytime, it's just like a quarterback. If you start worrying about what's going on up front and people getting through and blocking your kick, you're worrying about too much. You need to concentrate on hitting the kick. We'll do the protection, and it's just like the quarterback. If he starts worrying, getting his eyes up front, he's not seeing anything down the field, and he's in trouble. So Coop will get back to normal, and he'll hit some big ones for us.
Is Indy okay this week?
He is. He's going to play. He's a tough kid, one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. It's his senior season, and he's going to play football.
I tell you, a guy I really like, guy you recruited, number 44, Dad, you coached his dad. I like what John Rincon is doing. The last 3 ball games, he's averaged about 12 tackles a game.
Yeah, John's that steady, smart, good football player. I bet you if you sat Coach Thorne down and talked to him just about John Rincon, he'd rave, because he plays the toughest position in our defense. And Coach puts him out there, and he has to cover, he has to rush at times, he has to stop the run. Last week's, he had to stop the option. He was the key to the outside there. And so, yeah, he's been a great one for us. It's allowed our 2 inside backers to flow free. We know the flat's covered with John, and he's not going to kill you with his tackling, but he's going to get them down.
It used to be the big game was Mid-America and Baker. I still have that feeling. I know Benedictine is probably the most logical rival, but is it still big against Mid-Am?
Yeah, 20 minutes down the road, not a lot of love for each other. They beat us, you know, I was a part of many, I think 9 of them.
Right.
But there was a streak of 14 or 15 years we couldn't win. We went to overtime multiple times. And then I think it was, we were looking it up, 2013.
Right.
We finally got over the hump and had a big win, and now we've won 5 straight. But like we talked about the last 2 years when we've had great football teams, they had us going early, and then we had to come back. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. You know, we're worried about us.
Right.
We're still growing as a football team. There's no slip-ups left. And this is the first game in conference play.
Big one coming up at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Be it ODEC, we'll broadcast that game on www.bakerradio.org. Tom Hedrick and our head football coach, we're going to take on those Pioneers and beat them on Saturday.